So what if I told you that you could build a retirement nest egg of over $300,000, maybe even $500,000, just by saving the cost of your daily coffee and a Netflix subscription each month? It sounds like a trick, doesn't it? It sounds like one of those clickbait titles that promises you the world and delivers nothing. And look, I get why you're skeptical. We are constantly bombarded with financial fear, headlines screaming at you that you need millions and millions to retire, that you're behind, that you're failing. And in the face of those crazy, overwhelming numbers, a simple $100 bill feels pathetic. It feels useless. It's a couple of meals out, a few streaming services, a new shirt. How in the world could something so small make a dent in a goal so massive? You're probably thinking, $100 a month? That's a drop in the ocean. That's not going to do anything. And that kind of thinking is a trap. It's a lie that keeps people paralyzed. It's the reason most people never even start. They believe that if they can't save $1,000 a month, there's no point in saving anything at all. That is just plain dumb. By the end of this, you are going to see the exact 40-year journey of that simple $100 bill. We're going to watch a single, simple, consistent habit, something you can actually do, and see what it becomes over 4 decades. You will see the slow, painful beginnings. You will see the critical turning point, and you will see the shocking final number that a small, consistent habit can produce. And most importantly, we're going to translate that number into a real-world retirement. What kind of life does this actually buy you? The answer is going to surprise you. It will give you hope, and it might just change the way you look at a $100 bill forever. Section 1. The problem and the premise, setting the stage. Let's be honest, saving for retirement in today's world feels impossible for most people. We live in a culture of financial anxiety. Every time you scroll through the news, you see it. The average person needs $2 million to retire. Can you survive on less than $3 million? These headlines are designed to grab your attention, but what they really do is create hopelessness. The number is so big, so out of reach for a normal person, that you just freeze up. The goal seems so impossibly far away that you can't even imagine taking the first step. It feels like being at the base of Mount Everest in your flip-flops and being told to just start climbing. This is the core problem. The scale of the challenge makes us feel small and powerless, so we do nothing. We tell ourselves, I'll start when I get that big promotion, or I'll start when the kids are out of the house. But that day never comes. Life happens. And the most powerful tool you have in your financial arsenal, time, just slips away. This is where we're going to dismantle that hopelessness. We're going to focus on a simple, achievable, repeatable action. Saving just $100 a month. It's a number that, for many of you, is within reach. It might require a small sacrifice. It might mean you have to act your wage. You brew your coffee at home. You cancel a subscription you don't use. You eat out 1 less time a week. But it doesn't require a 6-figure salary or some radical lifestyle change. Let's create a person for our experiment. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is 25 years old. She's a few years into her career, making a normal salary. She's got some student loan debt, she's paying rent, and after all her bills are paid, there isn't a ton left over. She feels the exact same pressure we all do. She sees the headlines, she hears the scary numbers, and she feels like she's already behind. But one day, she decides to ignore all that noise. She decides to take control of the one thing she can: her habits. She sets up an automatic transfer of just $100 on the first of every month into a retirement investment account. Now let's set the rules for Sarah's 40-year journey. First, she saves exactly $100 every single month without fail. Consistency is the key. Second, we'll assume she invests this money in a simple, low-cost index fund that tracks the S&P 500. This is a common sense investing strategy. Third, for our math, we'll use an 8% average annual rate of return. Now the financial nerds out there will scream, "Dave, you should use 6% or 7%. And that's fine. The market's going to do what the market's going to do. 8% is a reasonable historical average over the long haul. The point is the principle, not the exact number down to the penny. We'll ignore taxes and inflation for now, but I promise we'll come back to that to give you a realistic picture. Why an investment account and not a savings account? Listen to me. This is crucial. If Sarah put her $100 a month into a savings account earning, say, 4%, which is generous, the growth would be pathetic. After 5 years, her $6,000 in contributions would grow to about $6,600. That's just $600 in interest. It's safe, but it's weak. By investing, Sarah is putting her money to work. She's buying a tiny piece of hundreds of the largest companies in America. This is the choice that turns a small habit into a life-changing outcome. So, the stage is set. Sarah is 25. The first $100 is in. The 40-year clock starts now. Section 2, the journey, the first decade, the slow crawl, years 1 to 10. The first few years of any savings journey are the absolute hardest, not because of the money, but because of the mental game. The progress feels agonizingly slow. This is where most people get bored, lose faith, and quit. Let's follow Sarah and see why. At the end of year 1, Sarah has saved $1,200. After a year in the market, with an 8% return, her balance is about $1,244. She's made $44. You can just hear her thinking, "That's it? I sacrificed all year for pizza money? It's underwhelming. It feels pointless." This is the moment of maximum doubt. But what Sarah has done is not just earn $44. She has laid the first brick. She has established the habit. That's a win. Fast forward to the end of year 5. Sarah is 30. She's been at it for half a decade. She's put in $6,000 of her own money. Her account is now worth about $7,347. So she's earned about $1,300 from her investments. It's better, but it's not life-changing money. It's not a down payment on a house. It's not quit your job money. After 5 years of discipline, it's easy to still feel discouraged. This is where we have to talk about the star of the show: compound interest. It's just the process of earning returns on your returns. It's a snowball. In year 1, Sarah made a tiny snowball. For the next few years, as she rolls it, it picks up a little more snow on its own. Right now, at year 5, most of its size is still the snow she packed in, her contributions. The growth is happening, but it's not dramatic yet. Now, let's jump to a real milestone. Year 10. Sarah is 35. She has stuck with it for a full decade. Her total contributions are now $12,000. What's her balance now? It's not $12,000. It's $18,294. Let that sink in. She put in $12,000. The market has given her an additional $6,294. That's more than half of what she put in, given to her for free as a reward for patience. This is the turning point. This is where the magic starts. But here's the really incredible part. At the end of year 9, her account was worth about $16,628. In year 10, she added her usual $1,200. But the interest her existing money earned that year was about $1,330. For the very first time, the money her account earned on its own was more than the money she put into it that year. Touchdown. This is the crossover point. This is the moment her money starts working harder than she does. Her little army of dollar bills is now big enough that its own growth is more powerful than her monthly reinforcements. The slow crawl is over. The momentum is about to shift. Section 3. The journey. The second decade. The momentum shift, years 11 to 20. All right, welcome to the decade of acceleration. If the first 10 years were about faith and discipline, the next 10 are about seeing the power of momentum. Sarah is 35 and her money is now doing the heavy lifting. The compounding machine is just getting warmed up. Let's check in at year 15. Sarah is 40. Through it all, that quiet, automatic $100 transfer has continued. Her total contribution is now $18,000, a respectable amount. But her account balance tells a much more exciting story. It's now worth about $34,603. Pause and look at that. She put in $18,000. Her account is worth nearly double. The free money from the market is now over $16,000. The snowball is picking up serious speed. The growth in just the last 5 years was over $16,000. Remember, it took her the entire first decade to accumulate about $18,000. She has now gained almost that much again in just 5 years. This is exponential growth. It's a curve that is getting steeper and steeper. Now the next big milestone, year 20. Sarah is 45. She's been saving for 2 full decades, 240 months. Her total contribution is now $24,000. What has 20 years of consistency turned that into? The final number is staggering. Her retirement account is now worth $58,902. Look at that. Just look at it. She put in $24,000. Her account is worth almost $60,000. The market has given her nearly $35,000. At this point, well over half the money in her account is money she did not contribute. It's wealth that was generated for her while she slept. Let's put this decade in perspective. In the first 10 years, her account grew by about $18,300. In the second 10 years, it grew by over $40,000. She contributed the exact same amount in both decades, $12,000. But the growth in the second decade was more than double the first. Why? Because in the second decade, it wasn't just her $12,000 working. It was the $18,300 that was already in there, compounding and growing every single day. The slow, patient work of the early years is now paying off in a way that is visible and deeply motivating. The feeling of doubt from year 1 is a distant memory. It's been replaced by security and a thrilling anticipation of what's to come. Because as powerful as this has been, it's nothing compared to what happens next. The avalanche is coming. Section 4. The journey. The final decades. The avalanche. Years 21 to 40. If the second decade was momentum, the final 2 are an avalanche. This is where the numbers get so big, they almost seem fake. This is the part that makes the whole journey worth it. It's the explosive power of long-term compounding. Sarah is 45, sitting on nearly $60,000. The next 20 years will change everything. Jump forward to year 30. Sarah is 55. She's been saving for 3 decades. Through market ups and downs, life's twists and turns, that $100 transfer has been her constant. Her total contribution is now $36,000. But after 30 years, her account is now worth an incredible $149,035. Just absorb that. She put in $36,000. It's now worth almost $150,000. The market has rewarded her with over $113,000 in pure growth. This is serious money. This provides real options. Let's look at the growth in this decade alone. From age 45 to 55, her balance exploded from $59,000 to $149,000. That is a $90,000 gain in 1 decade. Remember how it took her 10 years just to get to $18,000? Now her account is growing by an average of $9,000 every single year. The curve of her wealth is now almost vertical. Let's push forward again. Year 35. She's 60. Retirement is on the horizon. She's put in a total of $42,000. Her account has now swelled to $226,566. It took her 30 years to reach the first $149,000. It took only 5 more years to add another $77,000. The avalanche is in full force, and now the moment we've been building to. Sarah reaches year 40. She is 65 years old. For 40 years, she has saved just $100 a month. Her total out-of-pocket contribution is $48,000. What is the final reward for this marathon of consistency? After 40 years, Sarah's retirement account balance is $349,100. $349,000 from a habit that costs less than a daily cup of expensive coffee. She put in $48,000. It grew into nearly $350,000. Over $300,000 of that is pure profit, generated by the market as a reward for her time and discipline. This is the shocking truth of compound interest. And what if she works just a few more years, like a lot of people do? If Sarah works until 67, just 2 more years, that $349,100 grows to over $400,000. And if she works 1 more year after that, to 68, the number pushes past $451,000. From a simple $100 bill, a nest egg of nearly $500,000 is born. Section 5. The so what, translating wealth into lifestyle. We've arrived at the big number, $350,000, maybe even $450,000. It's an impressive figure, but a number on a screen is just a number. What does it mean? What kind of life does this money actually buy you in retirement? This is the so what factor. Financial planners use a guideline called the 4% rule. The rule says you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio in your first year of retirement and then adjust that for inflation each year after. Historical studies show this gives you a very high probability of your money lasting for at least 30 years. Now, some planners are getting more conservative and saying 3.5%. Fine. The point is, this pile of money creates an income. Let's do the math. 4% of $350,000 is $14,000 per year. That breaks down to $1,167 per month. Let's be clear. This is an extra $1,167 of passive income every single month for the rest of her life. It is a paycheck she gets without working. What can that cover? In many parts of the country, that could be an entire mortgage payment. It could cover all of your utilities, electricity, water, gas, internet, and phone, with money left over. It could pay for all your groceries. Imagine having your food and utilities completely paid for, every month, by your past self. That's security. That's peace. And remember, this is on top of Social Security. As of now, the average Social Security retirement benefit is over $1,900 a month. Combined with her investment income, Sarah could have a total monthly income of over $3,000. For someone who owns their home, that is a comfortable, secure retirement. Now for the dose of reality. Inflation. That $1,167 a month won't buy the same amount in 40 years as it does today. If we assume 3% inflation, the real value of that withdrawal in today's dollars might feel more like $360 a month. That sounds like a big hit, but let's counter that with 2 crucial points. First, our entire scenario has been based on an absolutely ridiculous assumption that Sarah never once increased her savings. For 40 years, as she got promotions and her income grew, she kept saving just $100. Who does that? No one. In reality, she'd have bumped it to $150, then $200. This $350,000 is the absolute floor plan, the worst-case scenario of consistency. The second point is taxes. If she used a traditional 401k or IRA, she'd owe income tax on withdrawals. But what if she used a Roth account? With a Roth IRA or Roth 401k, you contribute with after-tax money. That means you get no tax break today, but all of your growth and all of your withdrawals in retirement are 100% tax-free. Are you hearing me? The entire $350,000 and the $1,167 a month it generates could be completely hers, with not $1 owed to the government. The Roth vehicle turns a great outcome into a spectacular one. Section 6, Advanced Strategies and Conclusion. We just saw the power of a simple habit. But what if Sarah didn't just stick to the baseline? What if she used some simple strategies to pour gasoline on this fire? Let's introduce the first financial superpower, the employer match. Many companies offer a 401k with a match. A common one is 100% of the first 3 to 6% of your salary. Let's say Sarah's $100 a month is 3% of her starting salary. That means for every $100 she puts in, her company puts in another $100. It is a 100% return on investment, instantly. She's now saving $200 a month, but only feeling the impact of $100. What does this do to our final number? It doesn't just double it, it skyrockets it to nearly $700,000. By simply taking advantage of free money offered by her employer, Sarah could have turned her impressive nest egg into a fortune. The lesson here is simple. If your employer offers a match, you contribute enough to get all of it. Not doing so is literally turning down a part of your salary. It's the dumbest financial move on the planet. The second superpower is what we call the savings escalator, or auto increase. The idea is simple. Every time you get a raise, you automatically increase your savings contribution by 1%. If you get a 3% raise, you dedicate 1% of it to your future self before you even get used to the bigger paycheck. You won't even feel it. But over a 40-year career, this tiny increase has an astronomical impact. You can play with these numbers yourself. Go find a compound interest calculator online. Taking 5 minutes to plug in your own numbers is one of the most empowering things you can do. It turns this from an idea into your personal plan. Conclusion. This 40-year journey showed us a profound truth. The most powerful force in investing is not how much you start with, but how long you stay invested. We saw the slow crawl of the first decade, a true test of faith. We witnessed the momentum shift, where the money started working harder than the saver. And we watched the avalanche, where the growth became unstoppable. It's easy to look at a 40-year timeline and think, it's too late for me. That's a trap. That leads back to the same paralysis that keeps people broke. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Even if you only have 20 years until retirement, our journey showed that $100 a month still gets you to nearly $60,000. That's your $24,000 in contributions, plus an incredible $36,000 in free money. That's still a life-changing amount that can provide a crucial buffer. The worst possible decision is to do nothing. The real takeaway here isn't a specific number. It's a mindset. It's knowing that small, consistent, disciplined actions, when paired with time and compounding, lead to extraordinary results. It's about reclaiming control over your financial future. You can do this. It starts with a simple habit. If this flipped a switch in your brain and made you believe you can build a more secure future, show your support by hitting that like button. And for more guides on how to build wealth and get out of debt, make sure you subscribe. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. What is one small saving habit you're going to start today? Let's inspire each other to take that first step. Thanks for watching.